This is Our View, brought to you by the proud members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. When you forego raises in times of increasing cost of living, you're getting a pay cut. When you pay more for your health plan, it's then a bigger cut. Federation members appeared before the Benefits Board tell them cutting employee health coverage and not closing tax loopholes is a cowardly way of balancing the budget.
I'm here to take a stand in support of reducing the proposed cost increases on health care. Quite frankly, I think it's penny wise and pound foolish, because to increase the co-pays as high as they're talking about doing will probably prevent many children of state employees from getting preventative care, and they may actually develop more serious medical conditions because of that delay in care. And to me, that just doesn't make any sense.
We got a bargaining contract, and on the medical and dental that we're having, they are raising the plans of coverage for people out of pocket. This puts a very great deal on stress for the state workers and our employees. A lot of them have been laid off due because of the budget cuts by the legislation. So we're here to represent so we can try to make our medical and dental plans coincide with our paychecks, also because we did not get our pay raises. So we're here to represent our employees.
Extra expense, the higher co-pays and the higher out-of-pocket maximums is just going to devastate my family personally, and my coworkers' families as well. They're already high enough. They don't need to double or even triple in some cases. It's just ridiculous. We need better health care in this country, affordable to everybody, not just the people that make millions of dollars a year. We bust ourselves every single day to make this place better for everybody in it, and they try and just beat us down for it. They try and add more things onto it every single day, and it's sad.
As a military retiree, I waive the state's health care program in favor of the military system, but I find it so important to represent my employees with this issue because so many of them receive such low wages in the first place that many of them qualify for food stamps. I find it almost criminal that these employees are going to be held accountable for additional costs through their health care. It's a promise that was made to them by the legislature and by the governor that they would have good health care, and to be slapping them with these increased costs for co-pays and yearly deductibles, I think is tantamount to being nearly criminal.
The purpose is to be seen and to speak with people, because we have been, kind of between us. We have seen students and teachers, but maybe it's now necessary to open our movement and to speak with all the people that would like to, and to inform them. So that's what we are here for. Basically, it's kind of the destruction of public service. Not only the university has been on strike and fighting and protesting, also other teacher and other class, other high school or school for the little kids, and also the hospitals. So basically the problem is that the ideology that Sarkozy is willing to impose us has nothing to do with public service. It's there is a will to privatize. University, make it bankable, and that's one of our problems. That's ideologic, but there are also very concrete problems to keep keep being able to study if we want, and not only if we have money too. We want to conserve our public service because it's something very important for us, and it's threatened by our government, our president Nicolas Sarkozy. So to sum up what we're here for, what we are fighting for, we refuse that education becomes something that you have to pay and that a lot of people are not going to be able to pay. We want to keep our public service because we think all of us, the whole people have a right to study in decent condition wherever they are poor, rich, or I don't know what.
Whereas my experience with non-union companies, you're disposable and you're not a valued employee. Benefits are not the same. With union members, we are fully taken care of, our families are fully taken care of. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I would totally recommend this to any young person or, older person as a career path, because it definitely has changed my life for the better, 125%. It's opened doors that I never thought would be open to me, and I feel secure in the fact that I stand with my brothers and sisters.
The reason why I work union is because I work for a living wage. I need and want representation when I'm out in the workplace, and I think that we work hard enough that we deserve representation whenever it's available for us. We not only work for a living wage, we have health benefits along with a tremendous pension program. We also are allowed to attend a school that has a complete apprenticeship, which teaches 4 different trades and allows everyone an opportunity to also make a living wage. I'd like to invite anyone who's interested in our refrigeration, air conditioning, plumbing, or pipe fitting programs to come down to Local 32 and inquire in our training facility.
My name is Brenda Bosfield. I'm a residential plumber for Local 32 of Seattle. All I can say for the union, it's a great opportunity for your family, and it has great benefits, and it's a building block for a future.
I'm the 3rd generation out of a 4-generation family of plumbers and pipe fitters here out of Local 32. Currently, I'm the welding coordinator here at Local 32 with the JATC, and training is one of the biggest parts of our union. And that's part of the legacy of being a union member, is to get the training to meet the needs of the demands of the contractors in this workforce. Having a grandfather and a father, and then now my son in the trade, brings in the legacy factor of this that is a pride that just carries on. And be able to teach the young kids, the young apprentices and journeymen coming up into our trade, because they're our future. They're the ones that are going to take over this trade when we're done with it. So being a union member brings the legacy in, brings the training in to all the members, to the up-and-coming apprentices and journeymen, to better their education, to become a better workforce out there, to be able to provide for their families and to be able to keep the contractors going in business.
A look at our union history. Here's Ross Rieder.
Many of us have wondered why in the US of A large building capable of holding offices of many unions is called a labor temple. I think I have discovered how this may have happened. Some have thought it was U.S. labor's attempt to don respectability in a society that for almost our entire history has been very anti-worker and against the right to organize. So like the Masons, let's call it a temple. Besides, the Masons were fairly left politically in the 18th and 19th centuries. But let's go back, way back, say 2,000 years. Yes, there were unions then that functioned much the same as present-day unions. In Rome, for most of its existence as an empire, there was legislation protecting unions. At the time the carpenter Jesus was alive, the carpenter union in Palestine and Phoenicia was 700 years old. Well, as we know, a religion sprung up around the character and life of this Jesus. It wasn't always accepted everywhere it went. Well, one group had many of the same ideas and ideals as the founders of the new religion, the trade unions. And the unions had their own temples and gods. Free labor, as well as slaves, were not allowed to worship the major gods of the citizens, but they were allowed to have their own gods and temples. They, being also interested in the dignity of life and brotherly love, accepted these new religionists into their temples. They allowed them to use their facilities, their common table, and so forth. Even though later events, like the Emperor Constantine's acceptance of the Church for the Roman Empire a few centuries later, helped destroy the original unions for a few centuries, till workers again organized in guilds, labor temples came back in use. See the large square in Brussels. Another interesting tidbit, the new Christian groups that had to establish the day of worship. They didn't want to adopt the Jewish Sabbath of Friday, and the union workers' day off was Sunday. So guess what? The new Christian groups adopted Sunday as their Sabbath. According to C. Osborne Ward in his 2-volume The Ancient Lowly, a history of the ancient working people from the earliest known period to the adoption of Christianity by Constantine, published by Charles H. Kerr, Chicago, in the late 1890s, the existing trade unions and the new Christian groups helped to establish the new scheme of civilization, something that we have been working with since then and struggling with.
This has been Our View, brought to you by the proud members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. We remind you, when you accept a paycheck for your hard work, you don't give up your rights. Thank you for watching.